Hey guys, it's Matt here with Hall Family Farms. I'm glad you're with me today. It's time to start planting those seeds. So let me show you what I did last night during our live episode with Rob Cutlip down at Brown Thumb Nursery. Let's take a look. All right, folks, this is what I did last night on our Plant Chat live stream that I did with Rob Cutlip with Brown Thumb Nursery. Let's take this lid off. We've got plenty of humidity here to get these seeds off to a good start. So here I have True Lavender, California Wonder green peppers, Hanover tomatoes. That's a local heirloom raised in Hanover County, Virginia. We have peppermint, spearmint, cabbage. This is a hybrid. It's a reddish purple cabbage, oregano, and broccoli. That's what we did last night. Let me show you what I've got going on this morning. Get that humidity dome back on. So, as you can see here on my heat mat, I've already got some seeds pre-germinating using the wet paper towel sandwich bag method. This is a cross that I did last summer, 2022, with a white rose of Sharon, and that being the father of this cross, and the purple rose of Sharon from the cuttings that I took from my parents' home in West Virginia. Now, I wasn't quite sure that this was going to take, because my understanding with the white rose of Sharon is that it's supposed to be a sterile plant. But I think, as you can see there in the paper, I think I was able to get 2 or 3 seeds. Now, it'll be interesting to see if these seeds look like the mother plant, which is the purple rose of Sharon that I collected and was able to successfully root from my parents' home in West Virginia, or whether we're going to create a whole new variety here, a cross between the purple and the white. And here are some seeds. Now these look to be a little bigger through the paper and the baggie, the sandwich bag here, than the others. So I don't know. It's an experiment. We'll see how that turns out. Now let me show you what else I've got going on here. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been cross-pollinating a variety of different popular hardy hibiscus plants. And so I was able to successfully come up with a new variety. And I'll link that picture, I guess, right in this area, so you'll be able to see what the flower looked like from this particular cross. The cross was, the father was a tropical orange hibiscus, and the mother plant was a hardy white dinner plate hibiscus. And it produced this amazing flower right here that you see I have posted right here. And so it actually produced some seeds. And so I'm going to see if we can get these started. And you can see a couple of them have already fallen out. We're going to go ahead and open these seed pods open and get these seeds out and get them started in a wet paper towel and put them on our heat mat here and see if they'll germinate for us. And what I'm really going to be interested in studying in my hardy hibiscus trial garden this year with this particular set of seeds here is to see whether it's true to the parent that I created and grew last summer, the plant, the very plant that I harvested these from. And then we'll see whether or not they survive throughout the growing season and through the winter here in South Central Virginia. So let's go ahead and crack these open. And it looks like we do have some seeds here. me get my camera here where you can see. Try to get it over here in the light. My light's not very good here in this room. Okay, looks like we did get a few seeds. Let me just take my thumb and roll these out. Okay. And of course, anytime you're hybridizing plants, you just don't know whether the seeds, whether they formed correctly enough to produce a viable plant. These seeds look to be pretty good shape here. They're the size that I would anticipate that they should be, so that's a good thing. I'm not sure about this one. This one's a little smaller, obviously, than this seed pod, but this one has some seeds in it. So we're going to go ahead and get these out of here as well. I like doing this kind of task here on my bench here because it's painted white, so it's easy to see what you're working with here. Okay. I've got my fingers crossed that the parent that produced these seeds survived our winter this year. It was a mild winter overall, but we did have about a week where we had an Arctic blast come down from Canada, and it was in the single digits here, which is very rare for where I'm located. I'm in U.S. Agricultural Growing Zone 7B, and so to get into those kind of temperatures, it's really a rare thing for us here in South Central Virginia. But this is this is part of the test. You know, when you're trying to create a new variety, you're planting the seeds that you've cross-pollinated, and you're putting them out in an area where you can study them and watch their growth habits and see how they do. Now let's open this smaller one. I'm not sure. Sometimes you'll find some seeds in these smaller ones and then sometimes not. They just didn't form well enough, and this looks to be the case here. These are very small inside, not as big as the other. So looks like that's all we have here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any viable seeds in that. Okay, all right, so it looks like we've got quite a few here. So I'm gonna get a paper towel. I'm gonna get it wet. Of course, there's some water here on my table, so these are already a little bit wet. And then we'll get them on that wet paper towel. We're gonna stick them in this bag so we'll know what these seeds are from. And I'm still working on a name for this. Right now, I'm just calling it my new hybrid red. It's kind of a reddish orange colored hardy hibiscus. So let's do that. Okay, so I've got my wet paper towel here. We're going to lay it out here and then try to get these seeds on there. Let me reposition my camera here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to use my fingers here and try to collect them off of the table. Now, these smaller ones, like this one right here, I'm not sure that's going to produce anything. What we're really looking for is these larger ones to probably form a plant. So we'll see. I'm going to put them all on here just in case. Might even get a little bit of the shaft from the seed pod, but we'll see. And you might be asking, so Matt, why don't you just go ahead and put them in soil and let them germinate that way? And you can, and they will grow. This just gives me a better idea of, what the germination rate is, because I'm trying to track that as well, so that if I sell the seeds in the future to somebody that might be interested and want to grow this particular variety, I'll kind of know, what to expect as I move forward with seed production from this particular plant. So we'll just have to monitor this and see. And this is a good way to kind of monitor it over time. It's kind of hard to tell when you put it in the soil. I mean, unless you really count the seeds and then see what pops through, I guess it's possible you could do it. But here it's real easy to count how many are on the paper towel, how many have actually produced a root that's going to grow on to be a plant. So I think we're going to call that done here. I think some of these smaller seeds they just didn't fully develop in the pod. I think that's pretty much it. So what we're gonna do now is just kind of fold this wet paper towel over. And as you can see, we got quite a few seeds there. I would guess, without counting right now, there's probably 70 or 80 seeds. So wouldn't that be cool to get that many plants? So I'm just going to pat that. I'm going to open my Ziploc bag here. Carefully kind of fold that over, stick it in here. And then I'm going to unfold it inside the bag so that none of the seeds fall out. All right, and then we're just going to kind of start the Ziploc process here. I'm going to squeeze out as much of the air as I can. And then I'm just going to put it here on my heat mat that I've got just to help them along. And sometimes what I'll do, just to make sure that they're all kind of evenly heated. And I really don't need the light at this point, even with this other tray. So sometimes what I'll do, and I just have the light on for filming purposes really at this point, because none of my seeds have germinated where they would need the light. So what I'm going to do is just cover this right now. And that's going to help kind of keep the heat there and help them to germinate just a little bit quicker. So with that being said, please be safe out there. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.